Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is qualifying for race number 11 in season number 10 of the NOFSRL Cup Series. We are here at the Kansas Speedway to qualify for tomorrow night's Great Wolf Lodge 400 here from Kansas. And for the first time ever, we're going to be under the lights here. Completely new version of the Kansas Speedway. We have used the 2009 revamped version of this track for many years. But this year, we're switching over to the 2020 version, which is actually just a base file of the 2014 version of this track. But the racing is going to be much different. We essentially have repaved the track now, so that'll definitely change some things around for tomorrow night's event. It should be fun. This is uncharted qualifying right here. 5 minutes, top two fastest advance on, and we'll race with the other 40 full-time drivers. John Andrews in the number 2, Declan Wellington-Turner in the number 21, Roberto Crown Jr. in the 29, Ben Grorich in the 32, RJ Bishop in the 52, Joey Hightower in the 55, Ben Crouch in the 76, and Julio Cesar right here in the number 80 machine. One thing about this track, the grip level is much higher than it used to be. Not only that, the track is actually banked more than it used to be. Obviously, we used that old 2009 version for a while. That was before they added the progressive banking. That will also come into effect for this race. And keep in mind, this track is similar to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And when we went to Las Vegas back in March, you may remember John Andrews went to victory lane in that event. Well, if he can qualify his way in, I'd definitely watch out for him to possibly win this one as well. We've yet to have a multi-time winner this season in the NOFSRL Cup Series. Could the first one end up being an uncharted driver? It's a crazy enough year for it. The number 80 machine, going to clock in at a 29.074. We'll see these times really pick up in the race. I think they're going to be closing in on 80 or 28-second laps once we get into full-time qualifying. RJ Bishop, I believe this is the first time he has been in the hot seat this year. Driving the number 52 here for Velocity Racing. Won at Talladega last weekend. He'll be in the hot seat again next weekend at Darlington as well. All these guys will be in the hot seat next weekend at Darlington since there is no Turkey Hill National Series race this weekend. I think originally I had it scheduled that this was going to be the start of the IndyCar Series. But we're going to actually start that with the Indy 250. With sign-ups for that coming up May 10th over on AJ Racing. Looking forward to that. Number 80 machine to the top of the board right there. Julio Cesar with a great time. We'll have to see how the rest of these guys do. The draft will come into play as well. Joey Hightower and John Andrews, the two guys who won at Las Vegas that weekend. Of course, Hightower won the Turkey Hill National Series event. John Andrews won the Cup event. And there, John Andrews had to move out of the way, and Hightower going to get a bit of an advantage on him right there. It's still Julio Cesar, the fastest guy here in qualifying. Joey Hightower goes to the 3rd position. 21 of Declan Wellington-Turner has yet to complete a lap, same with Ben Crouch in the 76, who I believe made the last race here in the NOFSRL Cup Series. You got Roberto Crown Jr. there as well, the number 29 machine. Let's see here, I think Crown Jr.'s been in a race this season. Ben Crouch has been in a race. John Andrews has been in a race this season. The other 5 guys have not been in a race yet this season, so some guys looking to make their first start of the season here. And for some of these guys, their first ever start in the NOFSRL Cup Series. Joey Hightower and RJ Bishop, 2 of those guys, currently the 2 fastest drivers here in qualifying. But watch out for John Andrews. He's getting a bit of a draft here on Joey Hightower. He could have an advantage in number 32 machine. Ben Grorich going to the top of the board. Good run there for the 32 machine. And I don't think he's getting any pull off of anybody either, so that's pure speed out of that 32 machine. Mitchell Collins dominated at Richmond in this car, but could not hold off the number 33 of Eli Bright in that event a couple of weeks ago. Let's see what Grorich can do for American Motorsports here at Kansas. Declan Wellington-Turner to the 2nd position. Number 21 looking very fast there. There's Will Parrish, qualified his way in 3 straight races and finished top 10 in all 3 of them. Wellington-Turner is to the top of the board, looking to make his first career Cup Series start. John Andrews there in 2nd, looking, or should I say, not John Andrews. John Andrews is actually last right now. He's the slowest guy out there. Wellington-Turner and the 32 of Ben Grorich, the two fastest drivers. They have come in late in this session to take those fast times. That might give us a bit of a preview of what's going to happen in the next session. And Ben Crouch just went to the top of the board. He knocked off the 32 from the transfer position. So now Ben Crouch and Declan Wellington-Turner, the two fastest here in uncharted qualifying. That might be it right there. I don't know if these guys are going to be able to come back around. They might give them a little bit more time to finish this lap out. We'll have to see if either one of these guys improve their time. But it does not appear that they will. So Ben Crouch, once again, that's going to be 2 in a row. Actually, that's going to be his 4th race of the season that he has run here in the NOFSRL Cup Series. So it's going to be Crouch and Wellington-Turner, the two guys who race in tomorrow night's Great Wolf Lodge 400. Ben Crouch going to be in his 4th Cup race of the season in that NS Blackout Motorsports machine. And Wellington-Turner going to be his first career NOFSRL Cup Series start. We'll go ahead and give you guys the official results right there. Ben Crouch, Declan Wellington-Turner going to be in tomorrow night's race. They're going to join the other 40 full-time drivers for qualifying here at the Kansas Speedway. And here we are, ready to set the starting lineup for tomorrow night's Great Wolf Lodge 400 here from the Kansas Speedway. Last year, this race was very crazy. We had 5 cautions in this race last year. I don't think we're going to have that many tomorrow night, but I don't know. We could see a couple. It's going to be a wild race, no doubt about it. Here's Jesse Turner, number 77 machine. He's actually had a fairly decent season. Currently sits 6th in points. Currently, let's see here if we can do the math, about 21 points out of the cutoff. We're not quite halfway through the regular season yet. We will be halfway after Darlington next weekend. So, you get a bit of an idea of who's going to make the chase possibly. There are still no drivers with race victories inside the top 10 in points, though, coming into this weekend. And it's been that way for a while. It's, the guys who have won races have not been consistent drivers this season, which is partly why I don't think we've had a multiple-time winner yet this season. That would explain one of the reasons why we don't have a multiple-time winner yet this season. But Turner, number 77 machine, we'll have to see what he can do this weekend. A lot of unknowns going into this. Here's the defending winner of this race, Sergio Larvin Alonso, number 39, and he was not happy after that Talladega event. Obviously blew an engine in that one. Could have had an easy shot at possibly winning that race. Not only that, his arch rival Nicolas Samadillo won. I mean, I know Samadillo beat him at Martinsville, but I really don't know why Alonso hates him the way he does. I mean, he's Mr. Edge. And hey, I forgot to mention, and I wasn't aware of this, when I recorded the race, we'll see if Samadillo's somewhere on the racetrack here, number 48 machine. There he is coming out onto the racetrack. Nicolas Samadillo is now tied the all-time winningest driver on Napa Fan with John Hart. That was his 21st career Napa Fan win last weekend at Talladega. I kind of feel bad that I wasn't aware of that going in. And I thought Samadillo had like 19 or 18 wins. He actually had 20 going in. And well, now he's got 21 career wins. And if he were to win tomorrow night, he would surpass John Arnn and become the all-time winningest driver on Napa Fan with 22 wins. Joe Rutkowski blew up there in the 47 as Jesse Turner goes to the top of the board. And the times are much faster here in this second session than they were in uncharted qualifying. Already under 28 seconds. This track has a lot of grip on it, and it's going to be a fast-paced race. Well, with that in mind, passing's going to be a little bit difficult. It's not going to be like it was at some of these other mile-and-a-half racetracks, especially Atlanta. Atlanta's the craziest of them all, of course. But we're definitely going to see ourselves a race where you want to start up front for this one. And look who's starting up front if it stays this way. But, you know, we saw late in that session, late in the session in uncharted qualifying, a lot of guys move their way up in there. And Alonso just went to the top of the board. He took the pole away from Jesse Turner right there. Miller still third. Stover, Thomas Troxel, Nathan Stapleton, Nathan Baird. Ace Garcia to the second position. Now Trey Smith. That is a I don't want to say it's a surprise. And Turner just went and took that top position back away. These three guys in a line, they're getting some fast times. Logan Williams, Jesse Turner, and Christopher Alphaby. Good run there for Alphaby. He's had a very dismal season. Only 146 total points coming into this event as we have a bit of a stack up. Brock Nelson, Matt Dalio. Nelson's going to go upside down. We're just going to pretend we didn't see that because it's qualifying. It doesn't matter. And I was about to say, Alphaville has had a really tough season in that number 6 machine. But definitely a great opportunity for him if he can hold on to that top 5 starting position. But a great opportunity for Jesse Turner in the number 77 machine. You know, Turner, he hasn't really come close to winning a race per se. He has won top 5 this season, but we really haven't seen him up front really dominate any of these races. He really hasn't come close, as much, best of my knowledge at least. This could be a huge opportunity for him to possibly go up there top 5 in points and give himself an opportunity in making the chase for the 2nd straight year. But it's been a quiet season for Turner, and who knows? This could be... I mean, he won Las Vegas last year. Have to see what he can do this season. Fitzwater is in 6th, Alonso 7th, Ace Garcia, Sebastian Kukulon, Patrick Smith. Then you have the number 37 to Cody Sill, Andrew Miller, Brad Stover. Somebody just went inside the top 10 right there. A couple guys. Keegan Thompson now 6th, and Ben Crouch, who was one of the uncharted guys. Crouch went up to 8th. So good run there for Ben Crouch in the number 76, looking for his 2nd top 10 of the season. This is 4th race of the season already. We have not seen much parity, I should say, when it comes to these guys making these races in the hot seat. We have only had 11 guys make it in so far through the hot seat. Keep in mind, there are 36, actually, sorry, now 12. We now have 12, because Declan Wellington-Turner is making his first ever start in the 21. But we're 11 races into the season, and 12 of the 37... I think, no, 36. I think 36 eligible drivers in Turkey National Series for the hot seat. Only 12 of them have made it into a cup race so far this season. Definitely very interesting what's been going on in terms of the hot seat there. Not much of a change inside the top 10. Turner still holding on to the pole position right now with 27.65. Really fast time for him right there. Let's see if any of these guys advance their time. Nelson Reeves just did in the 05. Tristan Allen in 95 is 30th right now. Not exactly the best place to start here. I think, you know, the winner of this race, given that nothing crazy happens, is probably going to come from that top 10. So these guys definitely want to get a top 10 starting position. Shane Lake just went up to 8th. Patrick Smith is now 9th, and Fitzwater is 10th. Kukulon 7th. Trey Smith is 6th. And Keegan Thompson went up to 4th. So those guys definitely looking fast. They improved their times. See where Thompson is in the number 82. He's on the pit lane right there. But a good time for our points leader, who comes into this race with a 31-point lead over Sebastian Kukulon, who's another guy top 10 here. Same with Logan Williams, who's also inside the top 10. Nelson Reeves is 11th quickest. LJ Semedo is the only guy top 5 in points, who really isn't anywhere to be found up there. He's 38th quickest right now for North State Racing. Not exactly a good run for him. McMillan just advanced a couple of positions right there, but nothing drastic. But Turner, who's 6th in points, is currently holding on to the pole. So a lot of these guys who are up there in points are qualifying well here tonight, and that's going to be a good sign for them tomorrow night in the race. And like I said, we're going to be halfway through the regular season after next weekend's race at Darlington. It's starting to set up who we're going to see in the chase here. Like Thompson and Kukulon, Williams, Reeves, Semedo, those guys have been inside the top 10 for quite a while. And if they can keep that momentum up, they're going to have no problem getting into the chase. But then you got other guys like Turner, Cameron Garlington, 7th in points, Stapleton's up there, Ryan Durrani, Andrew Miller. You know, they're currently inside the top 10, but they don't have near as much breathing room at this point, and they got to definitely figure it out. There's Cameron Garlington, 34 machine. Currently, Garlington is in the 36th position. Not too good of a run right there for Garlington. He just improved his time, though, up to 27th. So, not too shabby right there out of the veteran driver. Hey, Daniel McMillan just went to 12th. Another guy there, one guy who hasn't won in a long time. Mason Brown just went to 7th in number 83 machine, but nobody's coming close to Jesse Turner's time that he set. Take a look and see here how everyone is doing. Joe Rukowski blew up earlier on. Currently slowest Matt Dalio back in there in the 75. He's not been having a good run here. Not entirely sure what the deal is. His only 2 top 10s have come at Phoenix and Richmond, which are very similar racetracks, that he still sits 20th in points. So he's far from being eliminated from contention from that wild card. But that wild card is going to be an interesting battle because it's the 2 guys with wins who have the most points. So even if guys like Dalio, Sam Medillo, Ace Garcia, Alonso, Fitzwater get more wins, it's not really going to mean that much if they don't get any points throughout the season. All you need to do is have the win. You know, it's not the guys who have the most wins, it's the guys who have the most points who have wins outside the top 10. So, guys like Eli Bright, Ben Young, currently 11th, 12th in points, while they're currently the 2 wild cards coming in. Going to be interesting to see how they'll go down in this one. Garlington just went to 5th. That's another guy, top 10 in points, 7th in points to be exact, who's up there inside the top 10. Kukulon is still inside the top 10. Same with Keegan Thompson. Same with Logan Williams. Same with Jesse Turner. The only guy top 7 in points who's not top 15. Actually, now even Semeto's in there. So all the guys top 7 in points are currently in the top 15 here in qualifying. Now someone else moved up in there. And it looks like it might have been Owen Miles. Fitzwater now advancing up. He's up to 3rd. Alexander Rowe just went up there. Rutkowski just went up there. And Garlington just went to 2nd. They got out there with fresh tires. They still have yet to knock Turner off, but Garlington looking to start on the outside pole. Just beat his teammate Logan Williams right there. That is a good sign for Cameron Garlington, who has not won since Season 6 in this series. We're going to have to see how it all goes down for him. Time's almost out here for these guys in qualifying. We'll see if anyone else advances their time. But Alexander Rowe coming in there fast. Owen Miles in the 22 as well. Joe Rutkowski, all of a sudden, all those guys finding their way inside that top 10. Going to push a lot of guys deeper in the field right there. It's going to be an interesting race tomorrow, especially with 2 long-time veterans starting on the front row. I have a feeling a veteran's going to win this race. Could be wrong about that, though. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, the rookies have not actually won that much this season. When you think about it, the only true rookie who's actually won is Ben Young. Everyone else who's won a race this season has had at least, with the exception of Ashland Boyd. Ashland Boyd has not run a full season in this series before, but he has made starts before. The only true rookie, the only guy who never made a start in this series before the season who has won is Ben Young at Homestead. So the rookies have not really been doing too well in terms of wins, but a lot of the rookies are up there in points, like Nelson Reeves and Logan Williams. So it's going to be an interesting race tomorrow. 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Keegan Thompson's going to start 5th ahead of Zachary Fitzwater. They both tied, but Thompson has a tiebreaker, of course, as he's the points leader in the series. LJ Semet will have the advantage on here, Jalarvin Alonso. And I believe those are the only 2 ties. So take a look at the rest of the results right there. Should be an interesting race tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on AG Racing. Great Wolf Lodge 400, only 54 laps here at Kansas. It's going to be a pretty short race, so these guys, they're going to have to get up there quickly. But those guys who start up front, they're going to have a bit of an advantage on the field. I think the winner is going to come from the top 10. Just got to see how it all goes down. Jesse Turner wins the pole for the Great Wolf Lodge 400. We'll see you guys tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time for this 54-lap race at Kansas. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys later.